Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be discussing the ins and outs of a shoplifting legend. And that's right, the Baldwins, Kayleigh, is going to be telling us how she encountered such thieves on her way through the treachery that is the shopping.
It's always good in life when you're a good person.
Remember that, guys, a good person is our Kayleigh. She's the best. She is the best I've ever seen anyway in that part of town.
And you pay your way and you stay within the law.
At this point, I assume she must be trolling her good husband, Kev.
And then you witness bad people who have no care for the law.
Definitely trolling Kev at this stage, I reckon. You know, it must be interesting living in his or her household.
Or just being a decent human being. So I've just been in B&M, obviously, and I kept ending up on the same aisle as this group of people. They had a pushchair with no child in it. There was 5 of them altogether. And, you know, they were, I'm not going to stereotype, but they were loud and all of that sort of thing. And they had loaded the pushchair up with hundreds of pounds worth of stock. Duvets, bed sets, loads of stuff. And then they came through the till, or a couple of them came through the till, paid for a couple of items, and then walked out. And the lady on the till knew what they were doing, but by the time she called for assistance, they'd already left the shop. And you can't, or they can't, intercept them once they've left. And I've just watched them walking up the road laughing and joking with a pushchair absolutely full to bursting. They've got the rain cover over it to stop it all falling out. Absolutely bursting with hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of stock. So that, honestly, I just saw it and thought, what have I just witnessed? That is blooming awful.
It sounds blooming awful. Absolutely. I'm so glad that you are on the right side of the law now, Kayleigh. You know, I would hate to think that you are as bad as all those people that you slag off online. So what was this? Just one day later, after that shoplifting extravaganza at Home Bargains or B&M Bargains or wherever it was, right? One day later.
And then
we got 3 packs of pepper
we've got 3 packs of pepper armies. Now, I did not pick up 3 packs of pepper armies and was just very shocked when Sienna took 3 packets out of the bag, because I was like, I only picked up 2 packets, and I know I only scanned for 2 packets because that's what I thought I'd picked up. And then she picked out 3, and I was like, why is there 3 packets? So what I think happened was they're quite compact in the packaging. I thought I picked up 2 packets, and I've actually, because they were all squished together, picked up 3 packets. So very naughty, but I only actually paid for 2.
Oh dear. The awkward silence is very real, isn't it? What was that you said?
And you pay your way and you stay within the law.
Well, I'm disappointed, Kayleigh. I'm very disappointed, okay? I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed, right? If only you could have just stayed within the law.
I know for definite that I would not have picked up 3 packs, I'd have only picked up 2.
Worst still is the fact that you are sat there talking about it in front of your child, you know? Your child who's taking all this in. Mummy's a thief, Mummy's a thief.
So
get better.
So Daddy just asked Sienna if we should call the police and Mummy should be arrested, and then she said that wouldn't be very nice because who's going to take her out in half term?
It feels like an awkward joke, if I'm being honest with you. You know what, with it... Oh, who is it? Kev has been in prison, you know, for his own issues.
So yeah,
that he's
we have ended up with 3 packs of pepperonis, did not intend.
A little bit worse than stealing a few pepperonis, right? But to make that joke about calling the police and having you arrested, it feels a bit in bad taste. Now, speaking of your child listening to you, stealing and everything, if only there was a teachable moment in this where maybe you had the opportunity to return the item and save a little bit of pride and teach your child that it wasn't, good to steal. And if you should steal, maybe this is the opportunity to teach her. If only there was a chance that you had of returning that item.
Watching today's video. I'm now about to go back down to Sainsbury's, which might seem crazy to some people, like why would you not have just done it all whilst you were there?
Oh, that's right. After you did that haul, you actually did go back to the shops. But did you take the pepperonis back and say, look, I'm sorry, I accidentally stole this, it was an accident and everything, but would you accept me paying for it now, and that will be fine? Maybe take your child along and teach her this is a way you should do things. When I was younger, my brother he didn't accidentally, no, he found some money on the floor, right? This is a teachable moment. My brother found £20 notes. Back in the day, that was quite a lot of money. It's still quite a lot of money now, I think, right? But he found £20 note. My dad made him hand it in to the police. Took him to the police station and hand it in. And I think he had to wait like a month or something like that. And he actually got the £20 note back because nobody went and asked for it back, because that's what you should do. And that was like a teachable moment, and that this is an opportunity to teach your child that stealing is wrong. If you should do it by accident, go back, pay for it, and no harm done, right? Anyway, so Kayleigh has since then done some soul searching, shall we say, and she is she had a few things to say.
I'm feeling that I can't vlog at the moment because I can't actually be my true authentic self anymore. When you work in social media, you are...
Think very highly of yourself, don't you, Kayleigh? When I work in social media, yes, you you put out some haul vlogs and things like that, shopping hauls and things like that, and one or two other things, like child has accident vlog and that sort of thing, right? I wouldn't exactly say that that's hard work, but...
Constantly filtering your life and filtering what you say. And that doesn't start out like that. It never started out like that. It's just sort of like a gradual, it might not even be everybody. I'm generalising there. Maybe it's a few of us, maybe it's more than a few of us, or maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty certain it's not just me. But you end up filtering what you say, and it doesn't start that way. I've been watching some videos of like smaller channels just recently. I really felt like I needed to try and create a bit of a community for myself of people that are going through similar feelings when it comes to social media.
When you say smaller channels, your channel is only 10,000 subs. Same as me, I know. I'm quite proud of myself, but it's not huge. And if you're looking at smaller channels, that kind of narrows the field a smidge, right? So you're trying to create a community of people who are basically getting hated on. Is that what I'm taking away from this?
So I started to watch some smaller channels. I've started speaking with a few other YouTubers, and what I found from watching their content is that they remind me of who I was at the beginning.
What I'd have to remind you of though, Kayleigh, is you need to get a like-for-like type channel, because yours is specifically a family channel, right? Family vlogging, so you vlog your kids, exploit your kids and things like that. And you need to talk to people who are also doing that, because if you're just thinking about other vloggers who are smaller than you, who don't exploit the kids, they're not going to have the same sort of experience as you.
They're not re-recording. This is the fourth time I have started this vlog. I've been sat in my bedroom for the last half an hour, starting and then scrapping and refilming. And I never used to do that, but as time's gone on, I've been doing that more and more. Always thinking about what I'm saying and then overthinking what I'm saying and then re-recording what I've said because I've doubted what I've said.
Best piece of advice I can give you, Kayleigh, is just be yourself, but not too much. Am I right? But seriously, if you be yourself and say things which are not controversial, you know, like I want to film my kid whilst he's in hospital, that sort of controversial, don't do that, you'll be fine.
Trying to filter my life to an extent where it's just not sustainable to be like that anymore. And I'm watching these other YouTube channels who don't do that, who are like I was in the beginning, and I'm like, I want to be that person again. But the truth is that motherhood right now is completely and utterly kicking my butt.
Yeah, that would be the kids for you, you know, motherhood, parenthood, it kind of does that to you once you get children and you have more and more and more children, you know. Most people do it if they can manage it, or I don't know.
It's not that. The thing is, when you put it into perspective, it isn't even that bad. Like, I'm not going through anything horrific. My children aren't in trouble with the law or out at all hours or doing anything really bad. But just because there's worse things that could be happening, it doesn't invalidate whether or not what you're going through is difficult, and it's whether or not it's upsetting you. And quite honestly, just recently, I'm feeling a little bit heartbroken. And I feel like I'm on a bit of a slippery slope to a dark place.
Why though? I mean, social media, YouTube doesn't define you. That's not you as a person, because that is, that's just like a side hustle, right? Am I right? Your persona is parent. I know. Gonna get shot down for that comment, I know, but you are a parent first and foremost, right? You look after your kids, you do whatever you need for your kids, you know, you do for your kids basically. You've got a husband who goes out to work every day to bring in the beans for the family. You don't need to go on YouTube and show all your kids live, right? You don't need to do that. So don't do it.
Where I've been before, and I'm really trying to pull myself back from that and put things into perspective and take on what I'm going through with bravery, which I'm having to dig deep to find that bravery. But I filter so much of what I say on social media that because of that, I'm now feeling like I can't pick up a camera and talk, because what I'm going through as a mum right now is consuming my everyday, all of my everyday, and there isn't anything else to talk about.
Thing is, Kayleigh, you can actually talk about motherhood, you can talk about parenthood and, you know, the things you are going through as a mother and everything, but you don't need to show your kids, and you don't really need to talk about them specifically. You just talk in the general terms and try and get advice maybe off other mothers and things like that. That could be your community.
Like, to come on camera, what on earth am I going to speak about? Because everything that's going on in my life right now is stuff that I'm filtering out and I'm not talking about. And there's a couple of reasons for why I do that. One is, you know, the lesser of the reasons is that people are horrible. Not everybody out there is nice.
Oh, don't I know it, Kayleigh, don't I know it. I've had some really horrible people on my channel recently. Fortunately, though, it kind of outweighed by the amount of lovely people that I have on my channel. So, you know, I kind of ignore the bad people, you know. In fact, I had a bad person on my channel recently. Yeah, that's right, it was Kev, wasn't it? He popped on for a little chat. I think he's deleted that comment now. Anyway, yeah, he tried to plead for your for your soul, I think.
And we live in such a culture now where online bullying is seen as normal.
Nobody's bullying anybody over here, Kayleigh. Now, right, I don't know to, well, what the situation was before I came along and started doing a few videos on these, right? So I don't know, was there a lot of like hatred? I don't want to use the word hatred, but like pushback for her before this? I know that, you know, some people talking about it. That was why I got the request to do it. But was there a lot of it? Or is she thinking that it's amplified recently and that's coincided with a couple of videos that I've done? You know, I don't wish to put any hate on people, but you know, people do stupid things and I'm going to talk about it.
And people who put the whole world on the internet are expected to just grow a thicker skin and accept that people are cruel. But these people, I mean, I do everything I can to protect myself from those types of people. I don't go looking for it. I don't read it.
It's so interesting that you say that, Kayleigh, because who was it that first approached somebody in order to like hate on me? You know, it wasn't even me that approached you. And then on the first video that I did about you, Kev popped along and I didn't tag you in it or contact you about it or anything. You must have been watching.
I was actually watching I think I just saw a little bit of an interview. It was on TikTok. I wasn't watching the whole interview, but I saw a bit of an interview with Peter Andre, and he was talking about how he protects his children from online bullying. And he said that I've taught them from as soon as they were using social media, you know, themselves, that as soon as you read anything, as soon as you read the first word of a comment or of a message that is negative or unkind, you stop reading and you just delete. And that's how I go about dealing with comments and messages now.
Are you for real? Seriously, Peter Andre does not have his kids on his vlogs, as far as I'm aware, right? He does not exploit his kids for money. I'm not going to go into that, but he's talking about protecting his children, and you actively put your kids in harm's way, right? That's the difference. That's what I'm not getting here.
I just delete them. As soon as they come through, I just delete them. So as much as I don't go looking for it, I don't read it, I still know it's there. And as a person, my character is to fight back. I'm a feisty person. If I think you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. If I feel like if there's an injustice, I'm going to stand my ground. If I think that you're wrong about me, I'm going to tell you. That's who I am. And I learned really early on that that's not the way to go about dealing with these types of people on social media, and it's actually the worst thing to do, because it doesn't even matter. They don't want to be proved wrong. They are so sure that they are right that even if you do anything to try and prove that they are wrong, they are still going to say that you're lying. They're going to still, you know, twist it, and it's just one of those things now that just happens and you just have to accept it. But because of it, I'm also stubborn. I don't want to give them what they want. So therefore, I'm not going to openly talk about some things that I know that they will be all over and they'll revel in. Like, it's just for me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you that. So that's like one side to it. Like, it's just, you know, just because people are unkind, and for every person that is, you know, for every person that is unkind, there is lots of people that are kind. But then the other side of it, the flip side of it, the other reason why I filter stuff that's going on is because of my children. Because we all have been there. We've all been teenagers. We've all been pre-teens. We've all done things when we were that age, and then look back at it as an adult and go, crikey, I was awful. I mean, I was terrible.
So you're saying that you filter things that you put online about your kids because in the future they're going to grow up and not appreciate that stuff being put online about them, even though you actually do put stuff online about them. So you know that there's a problem with putting stuff online, and yet you still do it because the stuff that you put online is not as bad as it could be. Is that what I'm getting from this conversation? Because it's kind of blowing my mind.
I look back at me as a 14-year-old and think, God, you were disgusting. Like, you were awful.
Yeah, and I think that with those prophetic words, we shall end the vlog because, what better way to end the vlog than to have her admitting that she was awful. Yes, I don't think we'll get too many complaints there, will we? Anyway, she did go on and she talked about how she's going to put the kids in the vlogs less and she's going to use the kids less and things like that. So let's hope and see if that actually happens. We'll be keeping our eyes on you, Kayleigh. You never know. We could be best buds in the future, me and Kev, right? You never know. Doubt it, but yeah, where was I? Yeah, they've decided that they're going to vlog their kids a bit less, and we'll see how that goes. Until next time, guys, please let me know how you thought of this video. The fuck. Please comment down below. Please comment down below your thoughts about the video. Thank you. And subscribe to the channel if you're new, right? If you have any more suggestions about videos that I could do, topics I could cover, please let me know as well. I'm more than happy to check anything out. And until next time, have a brilliant day. Take care of yourselves and bye-bye.